Hello, Sophie. Welcome. Happy to have you here. How are you doing? Hello, Sophie. Welcome. Is everything sounding good? Good, good, good. Everything sounds good and nice. Happy to hear it. Great. I'm so happy that you could be here with me tonight. Awesome. Well then, shall we get to it? Ta-da! Here we have everything. See, I'm gonna turn this down a bit and see if it's... Is that good? Is that good? Too much? I think it will sound better like this maybe. Let's try it. Okay, awesome. Great. Let's adjust the focus here. I read a good tutorial on how you can fix the focus on these Logitech cameras. So my plan is to try that out once I get the time. So as you can see, the title of the video for tonight is we're gonna build us a tiny little guardsman. A little soldier for the Great Imperial Guard. And just to give you a heads up on what we're aiming for, these are some of the other miniatures I built in this army. As you can see, they got this big fur hats and they got this real fancy looking weapons, almost baroque looking. And of course they look very proud with their mustaches and everything. So that's something what we're aiming for tonight. And last time we streamed, yeah, they need big weapons, you know, they are killing big enemies. So last stream we built this little no, 2 streams ago we built this little sergeant guy for them, and it's looking really cool. We're really happy how it turned out to be. And of course, the firstborn. They're very patriarchally? Patriarchally? They have this tradition that it's only men that serve, but once in a few while they get females to serve as well. So I got this female radio operator. I was so happy how she turned out. It's looking really badass. Also a big gun. So this would be a two-parter. Tonight we are going to build the little guy itself. So let's see, we'll take another base that was slightly damaged. So after we're done with this stream, we're gonna have a little guy standing on this one, and tomorrow we're gonna finish him up. And I think I showed you before in other streams that I got these little bags for the Vostroyan project I'm building. These are like the bits and pieces I use to Vostroyanify them. I don't know if that's the right word, but to make them look Vostroyan, so to say. I got so many nice little fancy pieces here, all collected throughout the my kit bashing career. But I think we're gonna wait a bit with the heads and accessories and such. We're not gonna get ahead of ourselves. So as for now, we're just gonna use torsos, and most of the torsos I use are from the Attilan Rough Rider set, and I really liked it because they had this satchel across the torso, and they had this little fancy like coat. Oh, Nads! Hello, Nads! Welcome! We have Sophie here as well. You see that? Looks like a little coat, which is fitting for what we'll be building. Happy that you can join us, Nads. Me and Sophie, we were gaming before I went here, so I was almost a bit afraid that I was going to miss the stream, but don't worry. I do my best to keep my promises. As you can see, I have so many of these torsos. I got them for fairly cheap on eBay actually, so I decided to buy as many as I could. And let's see here. So first of all, for these to match our Vostroyans, we're going to adjust these a little bit. But first of all, let's remove all these little connecting points and mold lines. I'm gonna show you what I mean. Nice. Oh, I dropped it, but not on the floor. Don't worry. No drinking this time. So yeah, let's put these all aside. So let's go to the front of the torso. Gonna adjust it here as well, remove the connecting point. Like so. So let's start easy with the torso. Just attach it really quickly. And I'm gonna show you later once it's dried to show you what I mean. by needing to adjust it. Like so. Okay, torso done. So now comes the interesting part. We're gonna find this guy legs. Ta-doom! Look at this, huh? Yep, I'm building it from parts. A Frankenstein's monster. A real deal. And that's why this is a two-parter. I'm gonna show you all the way from the beginning. Not like this cool sergeant we made before. I was really happy how well it turned out. But you know, we're gonna make something a bit more difficult. Because this was fairly easy, believe it or not. The torso was done, the arms, everything. I had prepared everything. This time I haven't prepared anything at all. Just to show you the experience of deep diving into creating something. So these are some upgrades, Bruce. I don't think we'll be needing this one. And here's what we're looking for. Here we got a torso. And we got the rifle as well. But this one is running. I think I want to have something that stands and aims maybe. So let's put this one aside for now. This one I'm out of torsos on. No torsos. No. Huh, this one has just 2 arms on it. No torso. Ah! Looks like I only got 2 torsos left actually. Maybe this guy will be crouching maybe? What do you think? Should we have a crouching guy or a running guy? Yes, this guy will end up completely just... I got some ideas of what I want to build. I have some like ideas of what I want to use in terms of bits and pieces, but I got nothing prepared. It's all just going to see what fits. So you can see my process in action. So we've got 1 vote for crouching. I see we have other viewers here as well. So let's hear it. A crouching guy or a running guy? When I get 2 votes on one, I pick it. I really thought I had more torsos for this. Gonna check up the instructions meanwhile and see what arms I'm going to pick. So this, if it's this one, it will correspond to this one right here. And if it's the running, then it will be Oh, to make it exciting, Sophie saying running. Oh, we have 1 vote that will decide it all. Isn't that interesting, huh? Is it this guy who runs? No. It doesn't matter really. We might as well prepare. Oh, should we do a double feature, huh? Let's do a double one. Let's start with 1 torso and then move on to the others later when we're done with this one. What do you think? A double feature. Why choose when you can have all you want? All right. So I think we're gonna start with the crouching guy. No, I want to start with the running. Yeah, let's start with the running. No, I haven't built either actually. It's just standing looking cool, you know? Posing. It's fun to have them pose. Strike a pose for me, baby. So let's start with the torso that's going to run. I really need to pick up more of these. I don't know how many I've built yet, but I need at least 20. And I built 2 sergeants. I have 2 special weapons guys. 1 radio operator. I need to inventory later. There we go. Take that leg off. There we go. Oh, we got Hiroshima here as well. Welcome, Hiroshima. Nice to see you here. I think it's the first time you're here. So happy that you could make it. Yay, hooray! Did everything go well? It was you who were on that business thing, right? It's so difficult with all these various different nicknames across all the servers and everything. I'm sorry if I mix you up. So what I'm doing now, all these legs are sort of wrapped, but I don't want that. I want them to look like they're wearing boots instead. So I'm trimming off all this texture, so you're gonna make it look like a boot instead. Because these Vostroyans, they are handcraft all their weapons and gear themselves, and they're gonna wear their fanciest boots to combat. Oh yeah, you're gonna start soon? Well, I'm happy that you could drop by for a bit. Did you catch my beta streams I did on Discord? If also if you have any like suggestions or anything or any feedback, just let me hear it, since it's your first time watching me here on YouTube. Like so. Oh, that's good. I hope I won't bore you as well, so it gets double boring. And now we're gonna do the same thing with the other leg here. Remove the wrappings, just scrape it off. Give it a uniform look, so it gets smoothened out. It's going to be really interesting tomorrow, because I plan that we are going to build this guy today, or maybe if we build even 2 of them, and then I'm going to sculpt all the neat little parts on them tomorrow. That's the plan, at least. Let's see how far we go. Oh, you didn't see any discords? Well, then you have a double welcome here. There we go. I think we have trimmed it off. So, here we got the main torso. As you can see, it's got the fancy little coat, and the coat is what we want to preserve. So we're gonna take, oh, it got some connecting point residue there. Trim it off first. There we go. One there as well. So yes, as I was saying, we're gonna preserve this coat. This is the part that we want to use from these legs, and of course the legs as well. But the main thing will be the coat. And since this torso is the one that we will put on, it's got a belt and everything, we're gonna cut it just beneath the belt. So I'm gonna take my super fine nippers here and cut it just ever so slightly to preserve as much as we can. Really, really tricky. I think I need to trim it off a bit here as well. Inside. You usually don't have to do that, but this pose is different, so I have to wing it. Oh, cuts too close to this part. That's bad. There. Got a bit damaged there, but maybe we can cover it up. We'll see. There, we cut everything off. So let's touch these legs. How will this fit? Like that? No, that was easy. Just a tiny bit of glue here. Just to make it stick. Then some glue in here as well. Like so. Oh, my bad. I didn't drop anything on the floor, so no dabs and no drinks. There we go. Even further. Seems like the bits are supposed to stick like this. Okay, that's good. Just gonna give it a little dab here to give it a nice connecting point. There we go. So now we got the legs together. No, I'm humbled. I'm very happy that you enjoy the sound of my voice and the sound and my little creations. I'm glad that you find them relaxing. I'm humbled. Thank you very much. And now, since this is a double feature, I'm gonna put these legs aside for now, and we're gonna go to the crouching. Just ever so slightly, nice and easy. Got so many rifle arms. Probably gonna try and dump them. I'm probably just gonna keep them. You never know when you can need a spare set of arms. A cool rifle. You never know. There we go. This last little leg. There we go. So we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna trim off these little wrappings. Most of this will be covered up later with either green stuff clay, which I'll be sculpting tomorrow, or hidden by the coat. And of course we can always use the glue if you want to smoothen out the plastic the way it is. We can always go back to using a file later. Just gonna give it a rather rough trim to bring all these beautiful details down. That's one thing with customized building your miniatures a lot, because sometimes the parts have really beautiful details that you really don't need for the project. It's a shame, really, but I think the designers of these kits made a beautiful work. Let's see, so how will this fit? Yeah, it would be great if you would come and watch me sculpt tomorrow. And if you really want to watch me sculpt, you can watch one of my earlier streams as well if you don't have the time tomorrow. But I hope you can make it. Looking forward to it. There we go. Gonna trim off the wrappings here as well. Nice and easy. I've been thinking if I should add maybe some music to my streams or something. What do you think about that? Or do you prefer me just sit in the silence, just talking about things? Maybe I should do a painting stream soon then. If you want to see that, Nads. I got a few projects in mind, which could need some paint on them. So after this double feature, I could go back to painting. Yeah, that would be fun. Yes, it's a super tiny, tiny, tiny leg. Oh, believe me, this plastic is rather durable actually. I've dropped pieces many times and, well, they usually stay intact. It's happened that some times when the bits are glued, they can actually come apart and ruin all that hard work for you. I did that yesterday, unfortunately. But it happens. A little background music is good, but keep talking. Yeah, maybe some background music then. I have to see if I can find some royalty-free music and see how I can implement it in my stream. I'm still learning this program. So yeah, but if you guys want some chill background music, I definitely will look into it. Thanks for the suggestion. got stuck there. This one is rather tricky because you can see the greatcoat here. It bends up a bit on the torso, and I'm not sure really how we're gonna fix that. But let's cross that bridge when I get there. Now maybe a big cut like so. I think it's funny that cut and cat sounds very similar, because if you have cats, they will eventually cut you with their claws. There we go. Remove the torso. Now we're gonna attach the legs together. Oh, you think it's like a surgeon? Cut for the very first time, like a surgeon. Organ transplants. You used a site called Bensound. I think they're royalty free. Oh, that's really good. Thank you for a suggestion. The English language is weird. Yeah, the English language is a fun mix-up of all kinds of things. It's like they're indigenous English, and there's a lot of like Norse, Scandinavian words, French, all kinds of things are mixed in there. There we go. And while we wait for that pair to dry, oh, the leg fell off. Sorry, I'm still a bit sick, I think. My nose is running and I'm a bit coffee. There. So here we got the running legs. Maybe I should try to zoom in a bit. There you go. And now we want this pair of legs to fit to this torso. And they got some flaps here on the back, so we're gonna start by trimming that one off. As well as this little pouch here, we have to trim that off as well. Like so. And it's got this nice little line here, which we'll be attaching the arms later, and as well as little, I don't know what this is called, part of the clothing. We need to trim down as well to make the shoulder pads fit nice and easy to it. Nice and snug. Gonna trim that off as well. Here we go. There we go. Much better fit. So this is the look we're going for. Let's take a drop of glue here, smear it out. And we're gonna put it so together, like so. Now, this connecting point isn't 100%, so we need to hold it a bit, because we don't want to smear out all these details. And even though I have a really fine glue, it can ruin some details, so we're gonna be really gentle. Actually, I think I'm gonna trim down some bit first here to give it a better connecting point. Even though it looks like I'm ruining some parts of this, most of it gonna be covered up later with other bits and arms and everything, so just no worry. Many things look bad in the beginning. And this leg just don't want to seem to stick. Did I attach it wrong? Maybe this is why I haven't built many running figures. There we go. Maybe an extra drop here to make it secured. Okay, I'm gonna leave that for dry. Let's go back to the crouching guy then. Meanwhile, we wait for this one to dry. So let's see here. Ah, yes. So this looks like it could be a bit of a problem because the trench coat is going up here and it doesn't really get a nice even point to attach this torso on. So what I'm gonna do is see if I can trim this down a bit. Be really gentle, moving one little piece at a time, because it's always easier to remove than reattach. Like so. It's amazing how we don't get glue everywhere. I have it all over my hands. Well, you should have seen the last stream. This big blot right here, it was all covered in super glue. I had super glue for days on my hand. That was a really messy stream. Oh, it's starting to look like something. Trim it down a little bit to make it look nice and even. It has some really nice like cloth texture to it, where you can see the wrinkle in the fabric from the leg crouching up. And I hate to ruin that. I want to try to preserve as much as I can. Okay, let's see how it goes. Yes, that's the stream where I used plastic and resin parts. That's why I had to use the super glue in the first place. Because you can't really use the plastic glue and resin together. You have to use the super glue. And I don't really like using super glue. One, it sticks all over the place, as you saw. And two, it's can be difficult to remove as well from like getting all over the place. I prefer to use plastic glue. It doesn't stick on your hands. There we go. Something like that. Oh. This will do for now. I'm gonna see later if I can make this look a bit better. Maybe I can attach some bits to hide my crimes of bad conversions. But that's a good start. That's a good start right there. Yes, this glue melts the plastic and it forms like almost like a welt bond together, and it really puts them into place. Can I push that down? And there we go, the first torso is done. And now, since I said this was a double feature, let's take another base and attach it to my handle. First a sip of Monster. Caffeine and nicotine. That's my secret to keeping my hands steady. Trademarked. On God's green earth, there are many kinds of delights, but I'm a simple person. I stick to nicotine and I stick to caffeine. Oh, Mishmash is here. Welcome, Mishmash. I'm privileged to have you here. Mishmash is another YouTuber who has made some incredible creations, and he is a big inspiration for me when it comes to like kit bashing and stuff. I'm honored to have you here. Welcome. Now let's go back to the little figure, and as I was saying before, we are using all these fancy little bits I collected. We paint a space, dollies. Yes, we are a grown-up people. That's why I spent 100 of converted into American hundreds of dollars on little plastic dolls. There we go. I really like these torsos from the Attilan Rough Riders. It's just beautiful torsos, really. It's a shame I have to trim so much of this off. I think the kit itself is really nice. These like horsemen with the grenade lances. They're really cool. Really cool. But I haven't built any one of them myself, actually. Just like these, I haven't built any real Death Corps or Krieg. I only use all this bit for like conversions and such. Gonna trim down these points here as well. Like so. Because here will the shoulder pad go, and this little piece of fabric here will unfortunately be in the way. Remove this little bag here as well. Ever so slightly. Like so. I like to do it after I have glued these pieces together, because I can get a sort of uniform look on where to trim, so to say. I don't want to trim anything away that could maybe have a connecting part on the other side of the torso. But there we go, your standard torso. So let's take the prepared legs we have here. Yep, the leg has dried now, thank God. Let's take a dab of glue here. Speaking of the glue, I actually did an experiment on the glue because I was running out, and I read online that the airbrush cleaning fluid is basically the same formula as plastic glue. You know why? Because this will definitely melt paint away from your models. So some genius at Tamaya decided that, hey, why not use glue for cleaning the airbrushes? And they market it as airbrush cleaner. But there's like 1% different in the formula. So yeah, I'm using airbrush cleaner as my glue now. Believe it or not. Like so. So the double feature is getting there. So as you can see on my other little Vostroyan guys, they have these cool baroque looking rifles to them. And we're definitely gonna give these two we're building now the same look of the rifles, and we're gonna green stuff the hats, the bearskin hats, tomorrow. But one thing that we really need for Vostroyans is heads. Oh. Just for Tamaya, or you reckon that will be the same for Army Painter or Vallejo? I'm not sure really. You have to check the content, because plastic glue is two components really. It's acetone and another chemical. And if you can spot that on your Tamaya, on your Vallejo airbrush cleaner or other brands, go for it. I can look some up later if you want and post it in your Discord server. Oh, you got Army Painter airbrush cleaner. Yeah, go ahead and try it. Please tell me the results. So I'm gonna set this guy aside for now, and I'm gonna back to our crouching guy. And actually, I just remembered that I used a crouching pair of guys for my Vox operator girl. And I think I was a bit more generous in trimming off this trench coat here, but I want to keep it as for now and see how it goes. So what do you think? Should this be like maybe taking a close aim maybe? Or slightly resting down? Let's go back to the instructions for inspiration. Let's see here. Okay, so 50-59 is definitely aiming. This has some more charge to it. I think the original idea is to use like this parts here for the running guy later. But you know, since the crouching down, maybe it looks like the little guy will take aim maybe. Kind of like this too. So I think we're gonna use one that takes aim or has it a bit relaxed. What do you guys think? Hey Emma, welcome. I'm glad you could join us. Since Emma is the last one to arrive, I'm gonna give you the honor to decide if we're going to use this pair of arms rifle or this pair of arms for the crouching guy. Wow, there's so many people here tonight. I think this is a record. Oh, Emma, we got a special watcher here, Mishmash, a YouTuber who's a great inspiration for me. He has made some fantastic kit bashing creations, and it's really fun that he could drop by. But let's take the aiming arms. I'm gonna be rude and decide for you. So let's see here. We need part 50 and 49. The pink gun stands, like this one. This rifle is unfortunately taken by another model, so I think you mean this one. So let's go with that. So let's see if I can find it. And believe it or not, but I used my last 2 remaining bits for the torsos. So next time we are streaming, there will be the finale of kit bashing the Vostroyans for now, until I can find more torsos. But not to fear, I have plenty of models that need some paint to them as well. Here we go. Rifle number 50. And most of you know me, and you know that I can't just leave pieces alone like they are. So we're gonna modify this rifle before we attach it. Oh, it's got a little bent there. Good thing we're not gonna use it as it is then. And let's see if we can find arm number 49. Not to worry you guys, but I'm running out of arms here. Where are the arms? Do I have to wing it? I can wing it. All I see are arms 47 and 43. Well, isn't that interesting? Mishmash, I love me some Hellbore rifles. Yee. Nads. Nyan, how often do you find teeny tiny heads and legs and weapons in strange places? How often I do? All the time. I find them all the time. You know, from the club where people dump their unwanted bits. And I find them online. I found them from friends. All over the place. And that's one thing I really enjoy with this hobby, because you can find so many little bits and pieces from all over the place. You had no idea you could get pieces from, even in the beginning. So once again, it's a hobby that really you're just limited by your imagination and the tools you have. Mishmash, I found a gene cult head in my hoodie pocket once. I've been missing for a few years. That's amazing. And the stream is buffering. Oh, it's midnight here, and I think sometimes during the midnight they are doing some lame maintenance on the wires. But I hope it gets better soon. Let me know if it still remains an issue and I can maybe restart the stream or something. I think we can use this arm maybe. Let's try that one. It looks like it could fit. Other parts of the rifle. So like so. And here we have this spare bag of all the Adeptus Mechanicus rifles. My pride and joy. This I have found on Facebook trading groups. Buy and sell, eBay, you name it. So many different pieces and parts. My pride and joy. Look at these cool bits, huh? There was a seller on Facebook that had a ton of these over, and he said that, yeah, you can just take them. I don't want them, so... I mean, beggars can't be choosers. I took what I could. Oh, you ate the head? I hope it tasted great. It's a bit more fibery maybe. It's good for your digestion. I haven't used a part like this before on making the Vostroyan lascans, so I want to try use this one. So let's try it. Putting all these aside. If there's one thing that you can have, and definitely can have too much of its bits, spare bits and pieces. You have always too many, but sometimes you have definitely too few. It's a fine line you thread. So the idea here is to trim off a piece here, so we could slide it in nice and easy. And the rifle has this little wedge here, so I think we're gonna use that as a guideline of sorts. So, or maybe, maybe we can. It's a bit short if we trim there. I think we're gonna use this as a guideline. So this will be definitely a shorter rifle compared to the others. But since the lore behind the Vostroyans is all their weapons are like handcrafted, I'm thinking that they all have like different blueprints they go after that has run in the family. So all the rifles are inherited down. Which means that the families have spent a long time of perfecting the rifles, and none of the rifles are too alike. So let's try and make a shorter one. Oh, it's sort of difficult to keep everything organized. I need to take some pictures. I think I have two. Yes, I have two big, like, not toolboxes, but like, you know, you can buy them from hardware stores where you put like screws and tools in them. I don't know the English word, unfortunately. But I got two of those, and then I got a big bucket of pieces that are unorganized because I don't find use for them at the moment. Or just like, okay, I'm not gonna use this bit at all, so I toss it in here and maybe my friends or the guys at the store can find use for them. Sharing is caring. Let's go by there. And now we're gonna start to trim off this piece down here below because we want it to slide in to this little socket we have created. And this is a rather good fit, so we don't need to trim off as much, I think. But let's start by removing the piece from here below. There we go. Hopefully you won't see me bleeding tonight. I got a whole bunch of sores on my fingers that I just healed up. And I didn't need to go to the emergency ward this time, but I've been there. And it feels like I just taking their time, just coming in with wounded fingers from model making. I'm sure they got a code or something. We have a 23.5 again. Oh, another Warhammer builder. Not again. Well, it is Wednesday after all. That's when they all gather, building the weapons. Weapons? Yeah, they're crafting weapons. Oh my, that sounds dangerous. Yeah, plastic weapons. Oh, of course. Not like gangs or anything, just nerds sitting in their apartments or grandma's basement building miniatures. Let's see how it looks. Oh, slowly getting there, slowly getting there. Gonna trim off a little piece here, like so. A little bit more. Measure twice, cut once. Or as my sergeant said, again. Maybe something like that. Okay, let's try now again. This starts to look good. Just like 1 millimeter. There we go. Okay, let's try again. Perfect. Or not perfect. Just not even a millimeter behind right now. This is like ducking in space. Doing heart surgery. I don't know. Just the last piece. Okay. Final test. Still not? Oh, come on. I'm sorry you have to witness this. This is embarrassing. I cut off too much. Okay. Well, don't you worry. We can fix it. But first, let's attach it to the gun stock. There we go. Got a nice little gap there we're gonna cover up. So let's take one of the spares that we cut off before and put it in. Like a little jigsaw piece. That will do for now. Told you we could save it. Gonna add a drop of glue here to smoothen it out a bit. Oh, there we go. I just had a Bob Ross moment, you know, a happy little accident. Okay. Looks good for now. We can fix it up later once the glue has dried. Gonna chip off these pieces I don't want here. 2 at the side. Doesn't belong on our last gun. So. There we go. And now we're gonna take the muzzle for the rifle we trimmed away. Trim off this little connecting point. So. Just a little cut like so. There we go. And just a teeny tiny drop of glue here at the edge, at the end of the rifle. And I'm gonna trim it off a bit. There we go. A little tiny drop of glue. Like so. And here comes the big finisher. There we go. Look at that. We have ourselves a lasgun laser rifle. There we go. Now we're gonna straighten it out so it looks nice and even. There. Yeah, there we go. We got ourselves a fancy lasgun. Maybe a little drop here. There. Okay. And this is my secret trick to keeping my hands steady. Caffeine and nicotine. The best ways to get steady hands. Nice. Just the way I wanted it. Nice. Let's go back to the chat. Oh yeah, guys have written a lot. I'm sorry I missed out on you guys. There we go. Turned out good. Now while it dries, I'm gonna maybe push it a bit just to keep it straight enough. I don't want it to look wonky once it has dried. It looks straight. Yeah. Let's put down flat at the side of my mat here. And while we wait for that to dry, let's build a rifle for the second guy, the running guy. I'm terribly sorry that you all died, Mishmash. I'm terribly sorry. Hiroshima, do you use any magnification while doing this? No, but I'm nearsighted, so I have magnifications inside my eyes. And I should remove my glasses doing this really, but then I can't see the chat, so... So I'm thinking this maybe, or this. Rest in peace, Mishmash. Okay, so let's try this, because I think I have plenty of parts of that particular rifle. 45, 46. And right away I see a 46. There we go. And what did I say? A 45. I knew I had some here. Ah, excellent. 45. I have a friend that's collecting these sprue frames. He's building ruins of them. So try to like trim one of the way at a time. But as you can see, I've gone all over the place. Do you guys cut off hands, legs, or anything to make little stubs? I'm not sure really what you mean by that. Hiroshima, do you ever make any scenes for the miniatures, like building and stuff? You used to make fairy villages. Oh, that's cool. I hope you can post some pictures. But yes, I have some buildings as well. And I've been toying around with the idea to maybe paint a building. I don't know if you would like to see that, or if you just want to see me painting little miniatures rather than big buildings. Let me know what you think. But the buildings anyway, they are pre-made. I have not scratch built a building in a long time. I did it when I was unemployed, but since I got my job I haven't tried it. Okay, so let's go back to the other rifle. And it's the same procedure here. Gonna trim off these barrel, putting that aside. We can put these aside for now as too. We don't need that anymore. I want to see some buildings. Oh, definitely can show you some buildings in the future. And trimming off these cooling coils. Like so. Just as we did with the other rifle. There we go. Okay, so let's open up our bag again. Our secret stash. What should we go for now? Should we try to make a similar one maybe? Don't need those. Do you have any similar? These are a bit too big, I think, for now. Let's take those away. I want to try to build a similar one, so let's see if I can make it better this time. So let's take a copy of it, the first one. Oh, I mean like amputations? Oh, yeah, like trimming off hands and everything and heads and such. It's like when you want to trade like weapons and such, sometimes trimming off the hand is the only option. Trim off these little parts. And as you remember, I was a bit too careless with the first one, so let's see if I can make it look even better now. This one looks pretty good. I'm gonna adjust it later off camera. But let's go back to this one. I think I did a cut like so. And gonna remove the little underside of the barrel. I couldn't have done this without this pair of nippers, by the way. Thank you so much once again, Nads and Amma, for sponsoring me. I'm in your debt as always. I'm gonna take our knife here. There was one time I cut me so bad, really, I couldn't bother to finish the model because it was just painful memories, you know. So I sold it instead of finishing it. I was like, no, I can't finish this one. It's all pain to me. Only pain. So I sold it instead of finish it. It's like, no, I can't build this. It's just trauma for me. Painful memories. So I sold it just to get away from it. It just sat and stared at me on the desk. It's like that poem by Edgar Allan Poe, the Hollering Heart or something. I could feel its eyes gazing upon me, where I sit alone in my bedroom. Just hear it call to me, "Why don't you finish me? Why don't you finish me? I crave more blood. Get that scalpel in your hand so I can taste your blood." Nope, 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 nope. I sell you. Goodbye. Super cursed. Blood for the blood god. I wonder what Emma thinks right now. He is walking around his apartment and they hear some creepy whisperings from his computer going, "Blood for the blood god. Call an exorcist." Perfect fit. Now I'm gonna just use my scalpel here to trim it off. Nice and easy. Sophie, what you missed something? Yes, you missed my chants calling upon the cursed gods of model crafting, trying to steal my blood. Mishmash. There was one really. You only slice yourself in the hobby. Oh, actually somewhat convenient because it got me out of a very boring phone call. Well, I'm happy for you. Sometimes you get lucky in the most unexpected way. I really shouldn't do this, but I have to trim it off a little piece. I'm not gonna jinx this one. Oh, it's here I need to trim off. Okay. Okay. Make it or break it. There we go. I think I need to fill this out later. I'm gonna do it off stream so I don't bore you guys too much, because this is a double feature after all, and I want you to see my creative process rather me trying to save my skin. So there we go. Well, you got the scars to prove it, Mishmash. Not many one can say that when it comes to escaping boring phone calls. I don't know the scars I have, which the most origins from, if it's either my hobby or it's my cats. There we go. Now we're gonna cut off the muscle. Like so. Teeny tiny drop of glue. And attach it. There we go. Nice. A bit more successful than our first attempt. But it's a learning process, you know. There we go. There we go. A bit better. There. Oh, maybe just a teeny tiny drop. Like so. Okay. Gonna leave this flat for now. And we go back to the other one. Now this part is gonna need some adjusting of the bits, so we're gonna cut away some parts, I think. But as for now, this looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks good. Just gonna take a drop here. Smooth it out a bit. And of course, I don't know if the arm's gonna fit. Because I didn't have the arm. But hey, it'll be interesting. I don't have any blue tack here at the moment, so it's make it or break it. Like so. Got a nice little firing stance, so. Oh yeah, I told before about the using the airbrush cleaner as the glue. I noticed the airbrush cleaner dries a bit quicker than the regular plastic glue does. But I kind of like it actually, because you know, you can't sit and hold two pieces together all night, you know. There we go. Nads, if it were dry cooked, can you use glue to make it more malleable? Yes, you can. The glue will soften up the plastic. So even if it gets crooked during the drying process, I can be very, very careful and go back. You know what? That arm that we just took, it fits pretty good actually. Maybe it's wrong in the instructions, so maybe we just got lucky. The other arm fits even better. What do you know? Count ourselves lucky. Few drops of glue. And there we go. That arm fit really good. Just a little gap here. But I think if we just press it together, it will work out. Yeah. There we go. Look at that, huh? And I got a little idea actually. I want to make another female Vostroyan. I have one already, and usually they aren't female in the Vostroyan army. But in specific times when the parents don't have a son, they draft the firstborn daughter instead. And I read a really good short story about that's called the firstborn daughter actually, and it was really good. It was really good. There are not many stories about the Vostroyans at first at all, so finding one about the female Vostroyan was really interesting to read, because the novel also gives you a bit look into their society and how much like time and effort they spent keeping all these traditions alive, because their punishment was to send all their firstborn sons into combat for failing to deliver troops for the big civil war that ravaged the galaxy. And they took that literally, so they sent every firstborn son. No exceptions. From the lowest manual laborer to the highborn emperor, not emperor, planetary governor. All of them get drafted. So the poor Vostroyan gal, she has to prove herself extra to earn her place in the firstborns. So I got this head actually. It's a really cool little head from the game, another game that the Game Workshop sells called Blood Bowl, and this head with a is it ponytails or rat's tails? I don't know what they call it in English, but I think it could be really good. It gives her a bit character too. So I'm gonna try to see how that fits, or maybe we use it for the other body. But I think, yeah, this rifle will be in the way, so we're gonna save that for the running torso. Put that aside for now. So here are the heads. And the Vostroyans, they have really fancy mustaches and beards and everything. I think that's a bit why they don't like to have like female Vostroyans, because they don't have beard and mustaches. That's my headcanon at least. This one has a fancy beard. Saving it. That's for another project. And I think the thing that was most difficult with this was to find the correct heads, because there are not many heads with beards and mustaches out there. So I had to scatter all out the range. Maybe that one. Alright, see you later, Nads. But I got this one as well. I'm really tempted using this one, actually. Look at that beard, huh? A well-groomed up soldier. You know what? I think this could work. This could work rather good. I think we find ourselves the head that we're going to use. Awesome. So we're gonna do some minor surgery here. Oh, and it's had a top knot as well, because the Vostroyans are inspired by the Cossacks, and the Cossacks were famous for the top knots. So yeah, let's take this head. I don't even know where I got this from. It's a really old kit anyway. I think it's gonna fit just great. Maybe I should make this guy without a hat, maybe, just to keep the top knot. We'll see. But this guy doesn't have any ears, so I think we're just gonna cover his knot up with green stuff later. It's a bit shame. Yeah, that looks Vostroyan for me. Gonna trim a bit to give it a nice connecting point. Because I think this on the other side here, it will lean a bit towards the color of the uniform. And it won't look too pretty. Let's see. Getting there. You know, maybe we're gonna trim the collar a bit, because it won't be seen underneath his sideburns anyway. Just a teeny tiny bit. Oh, this arm came loose. Gonna need a drop for glue of that. Gonna take some of this leftover plastic too, and give him a little reinforced wrist here. When you don't want to bring up your green stuff, you can always melt a little plastic on the spot, just to fill up some little gaps. There we go. Much better. Okay, so I'm gonna show you a trick I have now when it comes to making necks, because this head won't fit to this torso. So what I like to do is just take a sprue like so, and you see this part here, this will be our neck. And if you have a bunch of sprue frames lying around, you have infinite necks you can create. So we're gonna take our glue here again and put a little drop of super glue, not super glue, but this glue down his neck here, and slide our piece in here, and voila, we have something his head can lean on. I'm leaving this tip open sourced so anyone can use it. Oh, I'm glad you like it, Hiroshima. I've been in this hobby for 15 years something. You pick up a few things. That was fun about any hobby really, because a hobby gives you the opportunity to learn so many things. And after a while, when you start to know the material, this is where you can come up with these cool little solutions. A bit too tall. Maybe we can trim some of the head down here. Because I said this won't be visible. There you go. One little drop of glue on the neck. And see how it fits now. Slowly getting there. I think I'm gonna see if I can bend the sideburns a bit so it looks like it's resting against the collar. Let's see how it goes. Just a little bit like so. And I think we're gonna trim down this little rudimentary neck we made. Oop. There. Gonna use our knife to guide it a bit. You can see how quickly the glue really melts the plastic. This isn't even glue really, this is airbrush cleaner. Amazing. Okay, let's see how it goes. Now we're getting somewhere. I think the neck is still a bit too big. Actually, I'm going to remove the piece we used for the neck right now. Maybe we can do it without the neck. You know, there we go. There we go. Oh. Don't lose your head, buddy. What do you guys think? Does it look good? Is the head too big maybe? It's maybe a bit too big, the head. Let's see if I can trim the neck a bit. So it could get a better fit. Little more glue here. Sprinkle down some scrapings. Oh, you like that, Hiroshima? I'm glad you do. Head doesn't look too big, you think? Yeah, let's go with this. Let's do it. Okay, so we need a Slavic name for this guy. Any suggestions? I already have a Boris, and I think I have 2 Ivans. I'm really happy how this turned out, actually. I like it. The rifle turned out a whole lot better too. Thank you, Hiroshima. So let's call this guy done for now. We're gonna kit him out later with some cool accessories and such. I go back to the gal. Gonna take all the heads we have, put them in the bag. Now all these bits and pieces I have for the Vostroyans I keep in separate bags just to get a little system for finding them easier. I don't put. I have 3 different boxes where I put like miscellaneous heads, but this one I want to keep for this project only. Yes. Let's go back to our gal. Oh, got a little connecting point here I'm gonna trim off. This one dried up good. Just a minor adjustment. There. This rifle will be hold this position. I think we're gonna trim off a bit of the collar up here. I don't know what this part is called really. I'm not really even sure what they call it in Swedish. There we go. Like so. And I think we're gonna name this gal Ludmilla. Ludmilla. I wonder if my Belarusian friend is watching right now. I hope so, so he can talk on Monday how poorly I pronounced all the names, so we can have a laugh at it. Great guy, really. Nikita, if you're watching this, my heart goes out to you. Perfect, perfect. Trim out this little part she has in her forehead. And I think we're gonna build this her helmet like it is. It's gonna be covered up by green stuff clay later on, so it doesn't really matter. All that matters now is that we get something to glue down really. like that. Look at that. I like it. What do you guys think? I like it. A nice little adjustment here so it doesn't hangs above the rifle like it's just some dumb pieces of plastic, you know, because you have to take account for gravity and wind and everything. And that can look really, really weird when you're building something at this scale and you don't take account for how gravity would affect it. Because people will know if it looks like two pieces of plastic that just stuck together. Things doesn't look like that in real life. I'm gonna go back to a little neck here, because this gal doesn't have a neck at all. Poke it in like so. Put it at sideways so we get a even flat surface. I think I'm gonna bend her. There we go. There we go. This one I can bend down a bit. Bit more to the right. Starting to look like something right there. Nice. I'm gonna trim off these bits here on the head, because I said this won't be visible anyway, because you will have a nice bear skin as well. Oh. I think the neck is a bit too much. I'll gently push it down. Melt it, like so. I think the collar here I need to trim down a bit as well, because they're ponytails rub against it and it doesn't look natural. Slow and steady. Add some glue there on the arm, was a bit loose. Why isn't this connecting the way I want it to? Ah, it's a little piece back there. My bad, I forgot to remove that one. There we go. I think this must go even further. This one a bit more forward. Because she's running, you know, and it should look like the wind is bending her little ponytails accordingly to it. It's gonna be way more tricky than I expected it to be. So this would be the finished product. Maybe I should just trim them off really and put them at like they're hanging from her neck instead. What do you guys think? Should I keep it on the front of her face or have them hanging from her neck instead? So it'll be like more of a ponytail. What do you guys think? Like so? Or have a ponytail stick out from her neck? Oh, the plastic isn't stiff at all really. It's really malleable if you're just careful enough with it. Do you think it looks good like this, Hiroshima? Or should I have a ponytail stick from her neck instead? I'm leaning for the neck actually. I think I'm gonna go for the neck. Yeah. Maybe just have one. Yeah, like it's flowing behind her. Yeah. Okay, let's go with that. Just gonna trim this off from my cheeks. There we go. Oh, much easier to fit right now. Ooh, you saved me a lot of pain, Hiroshima. Bit too much glue, sorry. Gonna dip it away. Like so. Now we're gonna stick her head in. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now our character really popped. That looks great. That looks great. Oh, glad you agree, Sophie. Wow, look at that. She's a firstborn daughter, all right. Ludmilla. Yeah, she's Ludmilla. I'm sorry, Nikita, if you watch this, but she's a Ludmilla. I know your mom is called Ludmilla too. I hope she's doing great, by the way. Yeah, that looks great. So let's glue it, this one on right. No, maybe I should wait to glue it actually after I have made the no, I think questions. I think I'm gonna try actually glue it right now and we'll see how it goes once I'm sculpting it tomorrow. That looks perfect. Wow, that looks great. Look at that. That looks just great. Look at that. That looks so good. She's a real baddie. Hardcore firstborn daughter. I think I got some fingerprints here from grabbing the coat. Let's smoothen that out with some glue. There we go. And our double feature, we made ourselves 2 soldiers. I'm really happy how this turned out. And as I said, there are just some minor adjustments I'm gonna make. Attach some bits and pieces to give them a bit more character. But besides that, I'm happy for now. So I think we're gonna call this stream a quits. And I'll be back tomorrow finishing the sculpting bits. I was really happy how this turned out, and I'm super happy that all of you could make it to my stream. I'm privileged to have as good friends as I do. Last view on these guys. Also big thanks to Mishmash for wanting to hang out a bit. You're a big inspiration. So, I see you guys on stream tomorrow. I'm going to message, give your notifications and all, so you won't miss it. So, thank you so much for dropping by. Thank you. Take care, everyone. Oh, did I mess it up? Yeah, I messed it up. Okay, take care, everyone. Goodbye.